Well, how about the Braves? We know they're a great story, so now they're back in a first-place tie with the Phillies. Kenny, what about activity for them? I don't think any of us thought they would be in this position, but they look like a buyer. Are they going to be a buyer?
They are going to try, but they've got some requirements that might not be met so easily. They want controllable players. They don't want to trade any of their talented young kids for rental players, like a Moustakas at third base. Starting pitcher, yes. Relief pitcher, definitely. They also would like to add offense in theory, but they really don't have a spot they need to fill. Johan Camargo, guy at third base. Remember, he took over for Bautista after Jose Bautista was released. Look at his numbers. All right, since May 20th, 790 OPS. That's fine. I was thinking also today, maybe Ender Inciarte doesn't hit lefties in center field, but I was told, no, he's such a good defender, they don't care, and the Braves crush lefties. Best OPS against lefties in the National League. So offensively, they don't really have many holes. Veteran bullpen help, to me, would be the #1 priority.
I would like to see them get a big arm in the rotation to go with Fultonevich and Newcomb. I love that 1-2 punch. But you see Anibal Sanchez has done a good job in the veteran role, but I don't think they trust him enough going forward into the postseason run. You give up some of those prospects. I understand totally, but the window of winning is slim to none sometimes. They're back in it. They have the offense. They have the nice combination of stars as far as young guys. You go get a frontline pitcher that can put them over the top and get them in the postseason, and then anything can happen after that.
Dontrelle, you make a great point. Teams don't control their windows. You
Yeah.
don't know when it's coming. And when it comes early, as it has for the Philadelphia Phillies and the Atlanta Braves, guess what? You have to take advantage. You don't know if it's going to be this good again next year. So those two teams are going to be two teams to watch at the deadline simply because they have a little bit of urgency right now.
You know, for me, it always goes back, and I think you're right, it's a great point. It always goes back to the Strasburg thing, right? And it was a little different because obviously they shut them down. But it was the assumption that, well, no worries, we've got every year to get to the World Series. It doesn't work.
No.
Now is your year in a down National League, nonetheless.
Yes. Yeah.
So, right? One quick thing before we move on to the Braves. Ozzie Albies, it's amazing. He's taken the league by storm. You talked about his mini slump, Ken, but how about the home runs? He was never, ever a power guy in the minor leagues. He's got 20 now.
I don't know how to explain him, Lindor, those two guys, because they did not come up with the reputation of power hitter, and yet they both do it. I wonder if it's just because of the nature of the game, Dontrelle. The idea of lift that all hitters seem to employ, the way the game is played, the way it is pitched. I wonder if that's part of it. Obviously, these are strong individuals and great hitters, but the power is a surprise.
He has a big leg kick like a bigger
Yes, he
guy,
does.
and you see those swings. He has a lean-back launch angle type swing, and he's comfortable at the plate. All about timing. So when he went in that slump, he wasn't getting his foot down early. But as you can see in the highlights, he's getting his foot down. It gives him more time to see the pitch and recognize the pitch, and he's putting a charge. And also, he trusts his teammates, so he can pick the spots where he wants to take shots. He went dead central right there. I don't care what your size is. That's a 35-ounce bat he's swinging. So that's a big man type bat. He's showing power, and he's comfortable at the plate. Man, I love this kid.
Yeah, it's fun. So we get to watch Albies, Braves back in first place in a tie with Philadelphia. Let's talk about the Astros, though. They're the world champs. They are, for argument's sake, the best team, you know, whether you want to say so or not. But their bullpen. Now, here's a couple ways to look at it. Their bullpen's been overall very, very good. They also have worked the least amount of innings, I believe, in the league. They need help still with where they are right now?
I believe that's the only weakness that ball club has. And you've seen them give up a lot of games late inning. Now, during the regular season, you can be hidden because they have probably arguably the best rotation of all time collectively. But when you get to the postseason, you get to the upper echelon ball clubs, high leverage situations, you got to have a shutdown guy. And I believe they don't have it. Can they go with other pieces as far as the starters like they did last year to win it? I don't know, but I think they need to go out and rectify that and get a frontline closer, move Rondon down to the 8th inning, 7th inning, a little less leverage situations. But that's the only weakness that ball club has is late inning relief.
I would agree. It's a touchy one or a difficult one because they have a lot of really good relievers, and they have the ability to put someone in the bullpen for the postseason. I don't know that it will be Charlie Morton again, but McCullers perhaps. You could do this a number of ways. That said, what if you go get Raisel Iglesias from the Reds or Brad Hand from the Padres or someone that can hold down that role? It's a lot more appealing. The question is, Iglesias hasn't been in a pennant race. Brad Hand hasn't been in a pennant race. None of the available relievers really have been. So if I'm the Astros, I'm monitoring this over the next couple of weeks, kind of trying to figure out what to do, but I'm with Dontrelle. They need one more. They can't put Hinch in the same position they did last postseason, where he really had to improvise his way to a World Series title.
How about this? Is Ken Giles done as an Astro?
That's a good question. And let's not forget, punched himself in the face earlier this season.
Lord have mercy.
Then he cursed his manager last night.
What he did last night is
And
unacceptable.
Completely.
Unacceptable.
And his performance is unacceptable. So where are you going with this? And I would not be surprised if we do not see him in the major leagues for the Astros again.
And I didn't mean to cut you off, but as a pitcher, I learned very early. I had a bad game. I was frustrated. I saw Jack McKeon coming out, and I wasn't mad at him for taking me out. I was mad that I underperformed. And I walked and did not look him in the eyes and give him that ball. You want to talk about that old man strength coming out, and he beeline to me. That's the fastest I've ever seen him move. I will never forget the way he grabbed my arm, and he was like, don't you ever disrespect me like that or any other manager like that. It's not our fault that you gave up the runs. You respect us, though, and you stay on that mound. That's why when I saw that clip, I had a flashback. I thought Jack was coming again. You know what I mean? So he needs to be better at that, and that's the reason why right after that, they got on that bat phone. Every team has that bat phone, and they said, you need to get this guy out of here. The attitude is unacceptable.
Dontrelle, that's the reaction I had. How is it Hinch's fault that he pitched so poorly?
Listen.
There's no way.
Well, Hinch lost all confidence in him in the postseason last
did.
year. That was obvious. And
And
I
that's
don't
what
I don't
where
think it
this
ever
goes back
came
to.
back, and I don't think it's ever going to come
And
back.
he's the only bad apple over there as far as the negative energy. Everyone talks about him hitting himself, doing things. The rest of the team, everyone's happy-go-lucky, hitting home runs, high-fiving. You got to get that guy to calm himself down and humble himself and really focus on pitching.
Real quick before we move on, you sent us a nice little tease. You got something coming for the A's. Can you give us a little snippet for Oakland?
Sure.
What do we got, Ken?
My point is basically what we were talking about. And here are the A's. Their run differential is better than the Mariners. Mariners are slowing down a little bit, 500 or so in the last 20 games. A's, if they win tonight, 18 of 23.
They rocking.
Not going to continue, okay. But if they win tonight, the Mariners lose their 5 back in the race for the second wild card. I give it 2 more weeks if I were the A's. You want to see that it's genuine and for real, but what if you're 5 out in 2 weeks? Do you sit there and say, oh, we're going to sit and continue with the game's lowest payroll? No, that's not what they should do. Billy Beane, historically, has always gone for it when his team had a chance. I know he rips it up from time to time, but not when his team has a chance. He's going to want to go for it again, and then it's incumbent on ownership to support him.
Offensively, they have a chance.
Yes.
They went away from drawing walks. They went to the launch angle. They have a collective group around Chris Davis that can show power. They're having a lot of fun, and Bob Melvin's done a heck of a job continuing to keep those young guys hungry and believing that they can make a mark in this division. I love what they're doing in Oakland, and the fans are hyped about what they're doing in Oakland. They want to see Billy put some money into it and get a pickup like John Lester, maybe in the rotation, someone like that can really bolster.
And that's what they need, Kevin. Right now, as of tomorrow, they've got 3 journeymen in the rotation.
Right.
It's Cahill, it's Anderson, and it's Edwin Jackson. We both love him, but he's a journeyman.
Right.
So that's where they need help.
Hey,
They've had so many
a couple
injuries.
years ago, they got Lester, they got Samardzija, they got Jason Hamill. They did it before. They got the veterans. See if they could do it again. Real quick. Look out! Here comes Jack.
Jack ran up on me.
Careful.
Jack ran up on me. Like I was acting up in church.
I hate to